anger can give you arthritis? Holding on to anger makes you crinkle up like a little old witch. Hanging on to anger makes your joints hurt, makes your back hurt, makes you ugly. Hanging on to anger creates disease in your body. If that's not a good enough reason to stop holding grudges, I don't know what is. Honestly, why do we hold on to grudges in the first place? Why? Do we actually believe that somehow the other person is going to feel how angry we are and how much we hate them or something? And we're going to do some kind of justice or punishment towards them by holding on to that? Not going to happen. The fact is, grudges only hurt us. Grudges grow into disease. Grudges cause inflammation in our body and in our joints. It's the stiffening of all of our joints the more you hold on to old anger and grudges. It's pretty amazing, actually, to see the difference when people let go of those emotions. I've witnessed it firsthand in going through processes with clients where they've let go of the emotional energy of a horrible experience, like something really awful, or just some angsty memories towards somebody for being a real jerk face, and they've held on to it so long, and they get diagnosed with things like CRPS, chronic regional pain syndrome, going throughout their body, and they get pain in their shoulders, or pain in their neck, or pain in their back, or pain in their elbows, or their wrists, or their hands. And their doctor, of course, tells them, no, you've got a syndrome or a disease, and the only thing you can do is take painkillers or like some kind of nerve blockers, which is really scary. Oh my gosh, those drugs are terrible. So in the very moment of releasing those memories, those anger, the angst, tied to those memories, tied to those experiences, poof, pain gone. It's awesome. So right now, is there anything that you've been holding on to for a really long time that is anger, resentment, blame, awful memories, terrible experiences that you're just like so pissed off about still? Do you want to let them go? Because here's the thing, when we have negative experiences with people, what that does is actually open up a larger energy channel from you to them. And I know there's people out there that kind of go around, like, we call them shit disturbers, people that go around, they're starting shit, they love getting in a fight, or they love getting in an argument or something like that. And it's because the energetic bonds, these energetic ties that they create with people by making these interactions, it's almost like it strengthens them, like these energy vampires, we could call them. They're sucking your energy because they just love getting in a confrontation. They love starting some shit. They're like, oh yeah, and they get all jazzed on that juice, and it's like, ugh. If you don't want to have your energy sucked, like one of the Dementors in Harry Potter, if you don't want to be giving away your energy like that, forgive them. Cut that energy tie. Nah. Because if you hold on to that energy, and you hold on to that grudge, all you're doing is like hanging on to that anger, and that anger feeds that person that wronged you. That's all it does. You think you might be doing justice deep down by holding on to a grudge, but all it does is feed the other person. It feeds that memory. It holds that memory in your mind, in your heart, everywhere. And it stays in your body. And your body keeps reliving that traumatic event over and over and over. And it's releasing the hormones in your body like you're being attacked. So that's the other thing. Being in abusive situations and being attacked, especially by somebody that you're supposed to love and trust, like a parent, if that has happened, this can manifest as things like lupus. Autoimmune diseases, there's nothing detectable in your body. I mean, on one hand, there is detectable injections that people can get for immune boosting that can cause autoimmune disease because they inject other particulate from other people, fetuses, and animals into your body, and then your body attacks those things trying to get it out, and what it appears like is that your body's attacking itself, but what it's really trying to do is rid your body of all the horrible garbage chemicals and drugs that's being entering into your system. So that's the other side of that. But when it comes to the energetic side, the metaphysical side of things, is that when you're being attacked, and we hang on to that energy of being attacked, like you feel unworthy, you feel unloved, you feel attacked, your body is always under attack, and that's how it presents. So back to grudges. It comes to storing anger and energy and grudges and things like that. It can start to show up in your hands. If you ever notice, like, people could, like, in old age, we can start to just, like, crinkle up. And granted, a lot of that comes from dehydration, like massive dehydration, because let's face it, most people are not drinking the right kind of water. Most people are salt deficient and mineral deficient and all these kinds of things. So there is a few other things on top of that besides anger, but anger is huge. In a moment, you can go from being a very healthy, happy person to being a very sick, sore person just from holding on to a grudge. And depending on what happened that made this grudge come up, where the energy is focused in your mind, it can affect you in the throat, it can affect you in the gut, it can affect you in the mind. When it comes to things like cancer, there's a lot of metaphysical reasoning for this developing. So when it comes to the big C, the big cancer, it's unresolved emotions. If you've been through something traumatic and you have unresolved emotions, or if you are living a life not in alignment with your true calling, misalignment in life. Cancer can be the big wake-up call. Big wake-up call. When it comes to resolving your emotions and going through these things, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. So many times we can sit back and be like, no, I'm over that, I'm fine. Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious when you get sick that no, things are not fine. It's your body letting you know. So trauma and stress, unresolved trauma and stress, emotional stress, all of these things add up to create dis-ease in our body. Dis-ease comes from our mind, from our emotions, from our thoughts and our feelings mixed together. That is what changes your vibration. That is what changes the structure of the water in your body. Every cell in your body is always moving. And how it arranges in a beautiful way or in a really messed up way, it really depends on what you've been through and what you continue to put yourself through in your mind after that. The best way to move forward from any of these things is to find something positive to take away from the situation. And that might seem really, really hard when it comes to bad memories, traumatic experiences. You pretty much have to look for that silver lining. You have to look for any kind of a lesson, a positive takeaway, a life-changing turn, something that led you to something beautiful. Maybe it just led you here with me. Maybe just learning this right now is a big step, a big change. Like, have I never been through this thing, I wouldn't have gone through that horrible stuff. And if I never went through that horrible stuff, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing. Maybe doing what you're doing here today, right now, is like the gateway drug to enlightenment for you. Maybe. That's cool. Sometimes things happen in a roundabout way, but you've got to learn to appreciate your past. No matter how dark, scary, awful, or torturous it was, if it can lead you someplace beautiful, it was worth it. If it can teach you something that you can help others with, it's worth it. So holding on to grudges, not worth it. Holding on to anger, frustration, blame, not worth it. Burying your emotions, definitely not worth it. Living out a life not in alignment with what you truly want, your true passions, not worth it. I know it's tough sometimes. We take jobs just to make some money, just to pay the bills. But in the meantime, get off your phone, get off the TV, do the thing that is in alignment with your soul. Because being misaligned can cause dis-ease. Because everything starts up here and in here. If you don't want to live in disease, you've got to change your mind. You've got to resolve your emotions. Let them out. Deal with it. Don't keep reliving it in your mind like as if it's going to change something. It's not going to change anything. You want to go back and learn a lesson. Go back and forgive. Go back and figure out what your purpose, what the meaning behind it is. Maybe the only lesson you need to learn is forgiveness. And I've touched on this in another video before of like maybe the reason shitty people keep coming into your life and wronging you is because you still haven't learned forgiveness. Maybe that's your one big thing you're supposed to be learning. Maybe. I don't know. It's up to you to figure that out. To learn. To grow past things. Because that's when you get to level up in life. It's like you're playing a video game and I'm like this level right here. And you're going on, and you're just like, oh, this is my little man, and I'm like, do 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 do. You don't know what's going on. You're going through your video game, you're jumping around on stuff, and this thing keeps popping up, and every time it's the same scenario, and your little dude's supposed to, you know, make it past this scenario, this challenge in each level, and instead of making it past this level, you just keep playing the same level over and over and over and over and over. Because you refuse to learn the lesson. You refuse to take away something from the scenario. You do not level up if you do not learn the lesson. Going back and processing your emotions and your memories to be like, oh, that's what I was supposed to learn. Or, hey, there's a positive turn to that. If I didn't meet that jerk and go through that terrible relationship, I would never have met this wonderful person. I wouldn't be where I am today. Yay! Don't hate your past. Learn from it. Love it. Appreciate it. Even if it sucks. Even if it was torturous. Even if it was horrible. If it leads you to where you are now, which is learning to awaken your soul, your mind, your heart, and realign with source energy and learn that you are God in itself, in experiencing life as a human, that you are a conscious creator, that nothing is real, that's worth it. Welcome to the other side. But wherever you are on your journey, if you keep getting if you keep getting served the same thing over and over and over, and you're like, why does this keep happening to me? You haven't learned your lesson. If you're still sick, if you have a chronic illness, because you haven't processed your emotions. Traumatic things happened and you're still living in that fight or flight mode. Traumatic things happened and you're still reliving that in your body over and over every single day. And a lot of people, I call it victim mode, because some people, they don't even want to get out of that. They're like, no, I'm sick. I cannot get better. This is the way it is. And they're just like, I'm like, yoo-hoo, we gotta work on our breath, man. You gotta breathe. And they're like, I can't. And I'm like, you really do. It's the only way. It's the only way. If you honestly believe you cannot get better, then you will not get better. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again. Whatever you think, you're right. Whatever you think, you are right. All the philosophers of time have disagreed on so many things, but the one thing that they have agreed upon over and over and over is that you become what you think about. And if you are constantly thinking about shitty memories, stressful situations, and the fact that you are sick, congratulations, you will remain stressed out, very sick, and you will remain chronically ill, no matter what. Nothing can save you from that. No pill, no medicine, no miraculous cure from some doctor. They're going to do all the research. You can walk for the cure, run for the cure, but nothing will change anything until you change your belief around it. Nothing will change until you change your mind around it. Once you do that, sure, you can start changing other things. You know, you can look into your diet and your nutrition and all these wonderful herbs and things like that. But the biggest thing is your mind. So if the biggest thing is your mind, holding on to grudges, holding on to anger, resentment, and blame, what I call the trifecta of suffering, is the foundation of all disease. Oh, and fear. Fear is the other foundation of disease. If you are watching the news and they tell you there's a disease coming to get you, and you got to stay away from everybody, and next thing you know, you're staying away from all your friends, and you're staying away from all your family, and you're locking down in your house, that is fear-mongering, and that is horseshit. That is fear-mongering at its best. And right now, and right in that moment, when you are, like, you know, scared of everything, your immune system just went... Because fear really wrecks your immune response. Being scared, it wrecks it. What raises your immune response is laughter, love, human connection, you know, real natural food at a high vibration, you know, high vibe food. But yeah, high vibe people. People laughing, playing, joking, singing, hugging, all those things that most people aren't doing when they're sitting scared and alone in their apartment. Think about it. That will make people sick. They're like, oh no, you have to do it to protect yourself from getting sick. It's like, no, what you're doing is going to make you sick. Haha, they got you there. And that's the thing. They don't actually want to keep you safe. Just so you know. They really like it when you get sick. It makes them lots of money. So, the best thing you can do for your health right now is to let go of those grudges. They will not help you. They will cause arthritis. You'll crinkle up. You'll seize up in all kinds of pain, holding on to any kind of anger, resentment, or blame. Stress. It is not good. Forgive. Find the silver lining. Decide what lessons you have learned from your past. Appreciate the hard, lumpy, awful road that you've been down. Use your knowledge, information, and lessons to help others through their tough times. Decide to use it for good. Your experiences, your tough times, your hardship are your superpower. Those are your lessons. This is your knowledge. This is your gift. Your journey is your gift. Let go of the grudges and appreciate it and use it to your advantage to help yourself and to help others. It makes the world of a difference in life, man, I'm telling you. So, right now, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.